Welcome to CoderDojo Virtual Edition. My name is Lori. Today we're going to continue our journey in exploring HTML and CSS. We're going to look at colors and classes. We can code colors in our HTML file using words or hexadecimal codes, hex, or RGB codes. RGB codes are expressed using 3 numbers. Each of these numbers represents the amount of red, green, and blue in the color you've selected. Hex codes are expressed using a 6-digit number. Color words can be used. There are 140 color words available in most browsers. You can see what words represent what colors and the corresponding hex code that you can use. Log in to this website to explore the variety of colors and the codes associated with them. This online tool is amazing at helping us to understand the colors we wish to use. Here's the hex code and the RGB code. If you scroll down, you'll see the word that corresponds to each color. These are fairly obvious, but as we go lower, we wouldn't know what to call some of these colors. But if you check on this site, it will clarify for you, provide you the word, the corresponding hex code, and RGB code for most colors you could even think of. I have taken the website we've been working on and applied some of the new colors that I have found using hex codes. In some cases, I used the word. I just played around until I found a color scheme that seemed appropriate, and these colors go better with the logo the Kingston Frontenac Public Library uses. You can see that I went into this style section and simply with the rules we had already entered, changed the colors to new colors that I found on the website. I changed the color of my H1, 2, 3, and 4. I changed the color of my paragraphs. You can see that they have all gone to a gray color. You can see on this website, if we choose color scheme, we'll select a color and it will show us complementary colors. So this is the complementary, split complementary, monochromatic. It is so helpful in trying to design a website to be able to use a tool like this. I simply scroll down, find the color that I'm interested in, and I copy the hex code. I want to change my paragraph font to black, so I'm going to copy the black hex code, go back into my website, and it's the paragraph that I'd like to change. So this is too difficult to read. And there, the paragraphs are back to black. I would invite you to go back and work with your own website, changing colors, experimenting with what looks nice, and taking some of the recommendations from the color schemes suggested on the website we've just been looking at. I have gone in and changed our paragraph font color to red in order to make a point about what we're going to learn next. You can see in the style section we've got P, color red, and therefore this is different because it's a table, but therefore each paragraph, and we only have 2, follow the same rule and have the color red. We're now going to take a look at how to change one paragraph without altering both of them. Let's say that we'd like to change the color of font in this paragraph to blue and this paragraph to green. Well, because we've told all paragraphs to be red, we're going to have to identify a class. So we're going down here to our paragraph. We are going to make a class attribute. Class equals double quotation marks blue, closing quotation marks, our angle anchor. After that, we're going to have to go up and change the rule that we have in the style section. So now we're going to say P dot, and we have called this paragraph blue. We could call it anything we wanted. I called it blue because that's the color we're going to change it to. So this paragraph would now be called P dot blue. And if we say P dot blue and we change the color we want it to be to blue, we have now changed the color of this paragraph only to blue. Let's work through how we would change this second paragraph. Here it is. Here it is here. Once again, we're going to enter inside of this P tag. We're going to say, identify it as a class. Class equals quotation marks. We said we were going to do this one green. Let's call it something silly. Well, silly. And let's not forget the closing anchor. All right. So now we've called this paragraph silly. I would typically call it green, but just for sake of argument, I want to show you that we can call it anything. We'll go up to the style. We're going to copy the rule that is up here for P dot blue. Okay. Paste it. And instead of P dot blue, we're going to call this one P dot silly because that's the name we gave to the paragraph. We want to change the font color to green. So we have to change this. And there we go. Our font is now green. If we call another title or paragraph or anything, class equals silly, it too would go green. I'm going to change this now just to make it more sensible. We'll call this green. Obviously, it changes again. So now we'll go up here, and here we are. P.silly, and this time we'll say P.green, and it will now correspond, and it changes it to green. That's all for today. We've probably given you plenty to work on over the next 2 weeks. See what you can do with your websites, making them more attractive. Look up some color schemes that are attractive and effective, and we'll meet again in 2 weeks' time.